next cranial nerve, that is the oculomotor nerve. So it is the third cranial nerve and it is purely motor. And name is given to oculomotor means it moves the eye. So it supplies most of the muscles of the eye and plays a peripheral role in the accommodation or the movement of the eyeball. Then the functional components and the nuclei of the oculomotor nerve. So first, that is general somatic efferent fibers. So they supply to all extraocular muscle except the lateral rectus. So here the lateral rectus muscle, it is not supplied by the oculomotor nerve and the superior oblique muscle. So these two muscles are not supplied by the oculomotor nerve. Remaining the muscles of the plays important role in the movement of the eyeball. That is all supplied by the oculomotor nerve. These are the 6 muscles are present which help to move the eyeball, that is the superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus, superior oblique and the inferior oblique. So out of this, the superior oblique muscle and the next one, that is the lateral rectus muscle. So that is not supplied by the oculomotor nerve. Then course, relation and the distribution of the oculomotor nerve. The oculomotor nerve, it arises from the oculomotor sulcus on the medial aspect of the cerebral peduncle of the midbrain, here where that is the oculomotor nucleus is present, this one. Then it runs upwards, forwards and laterally in between the posterior cerebral artery and the superior cerebellar artery. So from this region. Then it goes laterally and enters into that the cavernous sinus. So here, so into the cavernous sinus, again it goes laterally and it should be divided into that the 2 divisions, that is the lower division and the upper division. And both the division, that is enters into the superior orbital fissure. And from the superior orbital fissure, then it is supply to the extraocular muscle of the eyeball. So out of this, the upper division, it is the small division and that is supply to the superior rectus muscle and the levator palpebrae superioris muscle. So this one. And the lower division, which is the larger division, that is supply to the medial rectus muscle, inferior rectus muscle and the inferior oblique muscle. So except the 2 muscle, that is the lateral rectus muscle and the superior oblique muscle, all the extraocular muscle of the eyeball, that is supplied by the oculomotor nerve. Then the nerve to the inferior oblique. So here you can see the nerve to that the inferior oblique gives a motor route, that is the parasympathetic route to that the ciliary ganglion, which is located in the posterior part of the orbit. And these postganglionic fibers from this ganglion runs through the ciliary nerves, which is supply to the sphincter pupillae. So here that is supply to the sphincter pupillae and the ciliaris muscle. So that is the course and the root of the oculomotor nerve. Then clinical application related with that the oculomotor nerve, that is the lesion should be occurs to that the oculomotor nerve that can causes the following symptoms. That is first the ptosis, that means the drooping of the upper eyelid due to paralysis of levator palpebrae superioris muscle. Then the next symptom, that is the lateral strabismus, means that is the lateral squint. So that should be occurs due to paralysis of the medial rectus muscle. So as the medial rectus muscle, it should be paralyzed, so it should be loose and the eyeball that should be turned on the lateral side. Then the third one, the dilated and fixed pupil due to paralysis of the sphincter pupillae and consequent unopposed action of the dilator pupillae. Then the next is the loss of accommodation due to paralysis of medial rectus, sphincter pupillae and the ciliaris muscle. And the diplopia or the double vision. So it should be occurs due to paralysis of the medial rectus muscle, the inferior rectus muscle and the inferior oblique muscle, means that is from the lower division of the oculomotor nerve. So these are the symptoms that should be seen in relations with the oculomotor nerve. Then the next nerve, that is the trochlear nerve. So here, so it is the fourth cranial nerve and it is purely motor and supply only one muscle, that is the superior oblique muscle. Then let's see, that is the features of the trochlear nerve. So it is only cranial nerve which emerges from the dorsal aspect of the brain. So here you can see, originate from the dorsal aspect of the brain. Then it is most slender of all cranial nerve and it is the smallest cranial nerve. Then the nucleus receives only ipsilateral corticonuclear fiber and physiologically this nerve, it is called the third eye. Then let's see the functional components of the trochlear nerve and the nuclei. So the general somatic efferent fiber arises from the trochlear nucleus. So here you can see the trochlear nucleus present into that the midbrain and supply to the superior oblique muscle of the eyeball. Then let's see course and the relations and the distribution of the nerve. So here in this diagram you can see, so the trochlear nerve, it should be arises from the dorsal aspect of the midbrain. So here you can see, that is the dorsal aspect of the midbrain, one on each either side of the frenulum veli. Then after emerging from the brain, the nerves wind around the superior cerebellar peduncle. So here you can see, just above to that the pons. Then it passes between the posterior cerebral and superior cerebellar arteries. So here that the nerve is goes and then it passes the posterior cerebral artery and the superior cerebellar artery. Then from this it is enters into, that is the cavernous sinus. Then into the cavernous sinus it should be goes laterally and then enters into that the superior orbital fissure. Then from the superior orbital fissure it is enters into that the orbit here, superolateral to that the tendinous ring. Then it runs medially above to the levator palpebrae superioris muscle to enter the orbital surface of the superior oblique muscle. So here you can see where it should be supplies. Then the clinical application related with that the trochlear nerve. So if the lesion of the trochlear nerve that should be occurs, so it can causes the paralysis of the superior oblique muscle and it should be shows the clinical symptoms, that is extorsion of the eyeball and weakness of downward gaze. As a result, the patient face difficulty while going to the downstairs or reading the newspaper. Then second one, that is the diplopia, or that is called the double vision. So that should be occurs when patients look laterally and in glances on looking downwards. So there is compensatory head titling to the opposite side and causes the diplopia, that is the double image of the object. So these are the clinical points related with that the trochlear nerve.